from WCIA 3 Plus. With your host, Stu Ellis. This is From the Farm.
Hey, hello again, and we welcome you to our program today, which is special. Agriculture has become a very high-tech industry, and I don't think anybody is going to be surprised at that. We want to talk about what the University of Illinois is doing to really, introduce a lot of folks to some of the technology. And we're having a special celebration, whether it's like Christmas week or Easter week or whatever it might be. We have Ag Tech Week. And Laura Blyle, who is Chief Cook and Bottle Washer of Ag Tech Week, is with us. Laura's one of the leaders at Research Park in Champaign. And this is an event that shouldn't be too much of a surprise to folks around Champaign-Urbana, but to a lot of folks, they may not have heard about it. It's the 11th one, I think you said?
Yeah, so AgTech Summit, the AgTech Innovation Summit is the full name, but this was an event that was started by the Research Park 11 years ago. And as it grew, very early on, we identified the need that Champaign-Urbana and AgTech can't just have one day to celebrate. We needed a whole week. And so that is what you're referring to now.
A whole week, and it may not be enough.
That's exactly right. And frankly, AgTech is not something we work on just 1 week of the year. Actually, AgTech cluster development is something that we do in our community across, the university and the private sector, as well as academia, and many other partners all year round. But this is where we have an opportunity to really bring in, as you mentioned, Stu, the outside. So to Champaign-Urbana folks, maybe this is not a surprise, but this event really brings in not just a regional, not just a national, but actually a global audience.
Now, what we want to talk about is not only just the week and some of the things that are going to be going on during the week, and that week is what's the dates?
So March 9th to the 13th. So AgTech Summit, which is the event that is like what I call the cornerstone event, which is an all-day conference. That is on the 10th. On the 9th, we have multiple events, including tours, a happy hour, many of which our events are free and open to the public, by the way. Many of them do require registration, but often walk-ins are welcome. We also have a biomanufacturing summit. Parkland has an event, Parkland College. You may have talked about this event before, where it invites high schoolers to explore ag education, much of which is in the technical range as well. So multiple different options, tours, ways to get engaged with what is happening. And there's a lot that's happening around here, Stu, and you get to cover it all the time.
The 9th through the 13th of March, and the cornerstone piece is the Ag Tech Summit. That's on Tuesday
the 10th, yes.
And that's going to be at the University of Illinois Conference Center at the iHotel.
Correct.
And that's it's a day-long event, and everybo's going to be there.
It's a who's who, that's for sure. So as we like to say, ag tech is very broad. Of course, no surprise to many of your growers and producers who are well aware of that. But everything from seeds to animals to, robots and machines to, financial instruments, et cetera. A lot of what we talk about really reflects what is on people's minds. So what is the future of ag tech? Sustainable aviation fuel, is this another market for our crops? AI, how is AI impacting the world of ag? We'll have fireside chats with leaders, including Jerry Costello, who's the director of the Illinois Department of Agriculture. Mike Graham is a University of Illinois alumnus who is the chief technical officer of Bayer. Bayer is our primary sponsor, so we're very grateful for their support, and we wouldn't be able to do this programming without our sponsors. And Linda Jing, who is the CEO of a company called called Genective, which has grown and expanded in the research park and looks at insect-resistant plant traits, as well as Kai-Yu Guan, who's the founder of another startup that came out of the research park called Habitaire.
And you just opened a lot of doors there. Let's go back to the sponsors. You said Bayer is the main sponsor. Now, these sponsors provide funding so all of this can happen. Who else are co-sponsors here?
We're very grateful to our friends in the equipment world, and so John Deere and AGCO, and all three of those companies do have a presence at the research park. So it's really a vote of confidence from them, and we're very grateful to them. We have some smaller organizations, so Pixo is another company that does a lot of work in software, custom software building for ag companies. They're part of the research park. Our friends at the College of Aces, so we couldn't do this without them. The University of Illinois Foundation, as well as the Illinois Farm Bureau, the Champaign County Farm Bureau. So it really does reflect a true community effort. And there could be more, and I'm sure I probably forgot one, so I apologize.
But if you want to be a sponsor, why, I'm sure there's room for that.
Yes, and as we like to say, we just grow a bigger table. We don't turn people away.
Okay, you've opened another door that we want to go through. You started mentioning sustainable aviation fuel. People know that maybe as SAF, or at least that's the abbreviation for it. And that's going to become very important when it comes to putting some profitability in a corn crop. And that's it's made out of ethanol. And so what are you focusing on at the AgTech Summit on SAF?
So interestingly enough, you mentioned corn, but there's other people, of course, and other crops that could potentially be part of the SAF world. We have some of the leaders in who are studying SAF on our campus. So we also have leaders in our civic organization. So one of the people who is going to be on this panel is from the state of Illinois, and the state of Illinois is highly invested in this, not just because of our crops, of course, first and foremost, but also because of the airlines that exist in our community. So this is a whole ecosystem. And I think one of the things that this panel is going to reflect is, yes, crops are what is going to fuel this. What are those crops? Are there differentiated crops? But also, what are the other factors and assets in the state of Illinois that will make us a leader in that area?
What are some of the other crops?
So, of course, we have miscanthus, which has been grown on our campus for many years as a biofuel. And there is actually some other things, and so that are cover crops essentially could also be a part of that equation, which is in addition to corn, of course. So, as many of us know, we have a big focus right now on campus around biomanufacturing, precision fermentation, and bioprocessing. And this is all related to that. In fact, funny enough, thanks to AgTech Week, so last year we had a big focus on bioprocessing and precision fermentation in the AgTech Summit. And on a lark, I said to my colleagues, I said, you know what? I think it's time for you all to have your own event. And guess what happened this year? So there is a biomanufacturing summit in addition to our panel on SAF. So a lot of issues related to what are we doing with our corn crop or other crops, and how can we utilize them for other reasons, chemicals, fibers, et cetera. That is going to be gone over in much greater detail.
And is that the bioprocessing and precision fermentation summit? Is that a sub-summit then?
Yeah, that's on Wednesday. So
that's on Wednesday.
Yes, Wednesday, March 11th.
Okay. And that will be, is it going to be at their
It's actually going to be at
house?
Parkland College. So
it's going to be out at Parkland. Okay.
And it's free and open to the public. Registration's open.
Oh, fabulous. Okay. We'll catch up with that one. Are there others that I don't know about?
They just keep sprouting out of nowhere. I mean,
That's right.
So, and they have their own set of sponsors, actually. So it's a great subset. The Center for Digital Agriculture will also have its own event on Monday, and that is exclusively going to be focused on AI. So the way that we've built out this week has been very intentional. It's been, how do we do some broader topics and connect them, as well as how do we do some deeper dives?
I want to find out about that just in a moment. We'll be back. Don't go away. Please don't go away. Come right back. We welcome you back to a very special program on Ag Tech. Ag Tech Week, we want that on your calendar, is the 9th through the 13th of March. And there's a lot of events going on that entire week, all coordinated because there's so much integration in it. Something that's integrating into a lot of agriculture technology is artificial intelligence, and AI is going to be one of those primary things. Laura, can we expect from AI in that week, other than being everywhere?
Mm-hmm. So the Center for Digital Agriculture has really taken a lead, and not just on our campus, but really bringing in industry partners to create some benchmarking tools around generative AI. And what that means is, I liken this similarly to what was happening in data and data privacy, 8 to 10 years ago, when companies really had to get together to figure out what are our customers demanding as it relates to data privacy, what are some of the rules of the road here, what are some essentially, benchmarks that we can all follow that will be adhered to, that will be accepted by not just our customers, but will be good for them. And so the Center for Digital Agriculture has been working on this. They have multiple partners from across industry, as well as some growers and producers and others, to get their input on this. And so their conference is all day. It is more academic probably than ours will be, but really it's focused on things like, as we mentioned, agents, AI agents. What does that look like? I actually was recently at our friends at John Deere, and I saw this presentation by a student who was working with some agents that John Deere has, where they were trying to make sure that their agent wasn't telling their customers how they could make spaghetti with their machines. So these are the things that people have to consider when you're working with AI.
That's and so we'll see not just some, but probably a lot of AI, because it's going to be agriculture is one of those industries where artificial intelligence is going to be quite applicable in many areas.
Yeah. Well, what does artificial intelligence need to function? Data. Well, who has a lot of data? Ag. And so really being able to maximize and leverage so much of the data that has been collected by these machines, by our growers and producers over the years, and hopefully not just create predictive analytics, which, that has been done for many years, but to truly leverage those resources and hopefully maximize opportunities. I think that's the exciting thing about it.
You said Director Jerry Costello of the Illinois Department of Agriculture is part of this. What's the Ag Department doing? What's its integration into this, and what part will Jerry play?
Well, this event has long had a lot of interest from the state of Illinois, and actually this is the first time that they've participated in this way. I haven't met with him yet to understand what that conversation is going to look like, but I think that it will reflect some of these topics that we're discussing here. Really what this event is all about is it shows how when we all work together from all of these different viewpoints, we can really move forward this industry in positive ways. And I think that having them at the table is a very important part of that. We have had the director of the Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity, actually Kristen Richards, she was talking last year about the importance of, agriculture and to our state's economy. And I predict that this conversation will probably pick up where that one left off.
He I'm sure will have a lot to say, and people will be quite interested in that. We have you have linked a while ago. We were talking about AI, and you've linked AI and ag tech, and that's another third pedestal, I think, for this ag tech week.
Well, what we have is a lot of not just companies and industries that you have heard of. So I mentioned several of the biggies, but a big part of this event is the Startup World Cup. So Startup World Cup is actually an event that happens annually in the Bay Area. We are the only regional startup pitch competition that feeds into Startup World Cup that has a specific domain. So what I mean by that, they have sourced competitions regionally, actually globally, all over the world. And the winners of those competitions then go to the finale. Okay, so think of it as almost like its own March Madness. So they have a bunch of brackets. They have champions. The champions all go to the final. Well, our Startup World Cup will have 10 startups that are all across ag tech. They will come from, last year they came from 7 states. And they will pitch, and one of them will win, and they will then get an invitation to the Startup World Cup finale that happens in November.
They're making pitches, and so pitches to
So they will pitch to a panel of investors.
Okay.
They will be pitching their companies. So essentially, it is who is the best company that is the most ready. Now, what do they win at Startup World Cup if they were to win that? $1 million investment.
Okay.
So what the companies are looking for are opportunities to grow. They are oftentimes going to be pitching not just to our investors, but we will have other investors in the room. They may need help from growers and producers to do testing of their products. They may need other partners along those lines. So, but at the end of the day, this is a great way for others to really see what are the problems that people are thinking about and how are they thinking about them.
Fascinating. There's more fascinating stuff to come. Don't go away. We'll be right back. We welcome you back to our discussion about Ag Week coming up at the University of Illinois, March 9 through the 13th this year. Ag Tech Week is a phenomenal thing. It's 11 years old now, and there's something for everybody. There's something that really encompasses the whole community. Our guest, Laura Blau, who is with University of Illinois Research Park. And Laura, Ag Tech Week can really envelop almost all of Champaign-Urbana and Central Illinois.
So we are really proud that we have such a wide range of partners for this event. As we mentioned earlier, some of our events are with our friends at Parkland College. Some of them have a target audience that is more for educational purposes, so getting high school students to learn about the ag opportunities at Parkland, but also so much of what we do is really truly about getting the community engaged into this, whether that's growers and producers, whether that's students, whether that's people on campus, whether that is the people who work for the very many small agribusiness entities that are all across our community. There really is something for everyone, and we're really proud of the fact that we've kept this event, true to our land grant mission, mostly free and very accessible. So we would love for people to just try us out and to see what we have to offer, because really where the magic happens is a lot of these intersections and relationships that get built across this week. It's also a great week to showcase our community to many others who are coming in from out of town.
Is there some place that people can key in something on their computer and see here's the whole thing that's happening?
Yes. So the main website is cuagtechweek.com.
Oh, do that one again.
CU,
as in Champaign-Urbana.
Champaign-Urbana,
Okay.
agtechweek.com.
cuagtechweek.com.
Yep.
Okay. Now, if I key that in, what am I going to find?
You will find a list of all the events, and some of the events will have advanced registration. Most of the, as I mentioned, almost all of them are free. But we do ask that people register so we can prepare for who's coming. And you can also see the timing, the locations, what are the topics that are going to be called. So, for example, our AgTech Summit, which is the event that I specifically program, it has its own website, but all of that is linked to cuagtechweek.com. So you can do a lot of rabbit holes on that website, but really it'll give you a sense of everything that's happening that week.
Okay. You said that there's one that there will be a fee, and what is that?
So the Center for Digital Agriculture's event on the Monday, the 9th, has a fee for that conference.
Okay. All right. Couple of things I think people may want to be aware of. You're giving out some awards.
Yeah, so we have been giving out awards as part of the AgTech Summit for 10 years, I think, or 9 years. This is the 9th, I think. I actually looked that up the other day. One of the awards is to a startup company. So actually the genesis of this event was that really we had a lot of startup activity. So essentially, graduate students, faculty members taking ideas out of the quote unquote lab and putting them into the marketplace. Many of them had ag tech applications. And so really when we started this event, it was about that side of the house. And so we really want to honor that. We've been very fortunate to have a family, the Edwin Moore family, that were growers and producers, that essentially the family farm was sold, and part of the proceeds of that sale have gone into this award, which recognizes a growing startup that has come out of the EnterpriseWorks incubator at Research Park. So the history and everyone who's gotten that award is listed on our website. Again, it's very broad. So companies, everything from machines to software to seeds and things like that have been recognized. And I can't tell you who's going to win this year's award, Stu, but I do know. So I'm very excited about it, and it's a very different company. So and that gets announced there. We produce a video about the company, and some of those videos are on our website. In addition, we have worked with the Brandt Foundation to give an award to a grower or producer who has a connection with the University of Illinois and is very entrepreneurial. So that award, I believe this is the 5th year that we've done that. And it's always great to see the depth and breadth of our growers and their creativity. And that's open to anyone in the state. And so as of this moment, we're still taking applications, but when people watch this, I don't know if that will still be open.
I remember one of those. It was intriguing. I thought, this is great. It happened to be Riggs Beer. Matt Riggs had gotten the award several years ago. And just indicating the creativity, pardon me, the creativity of what he had done to work with the, pardon me, the work with the university in getting wheat genetics to improve the quality of his product, and that I thought that's a whole new area, and all of a sudden he gets an award, and that's the type of things that I guess you're going to be looking for, or people going to be seeing then for this.
Yeah, and we've had Champaign County grower, Ford County, Piatt County, and I don't remember where the popcorn folks were from, but multiple growers and producers, and some of them very clearly working with our campus. So in one case, one grower producer who really allowed a lot of testing on his property, and that had really advanced research. So to another entity that had improved their, popcorn product by partnering with campus. So we really love to see, the creativity of our growers and producers. I mean, farmers are the original entrepreneurs, and so we want to honor that and recognize it.
When people attend this and go home, what do you want them to take home?
hopefully I want them to take home a whole bunch more contacts on their so-called Rolodexes. I want them to take home maybe an idea that they can move forward that might help them in their work or their day-to-day. And hopefully they can also take home an understanding of that this place is much bigger than the sum of its parts, so to speak, and how we really are floating to the top in terms of not just outpunching our weight, but really showing our might in the global marketplace when it comes to ag tech.
We appreciate Laura Blau coming by and visiting with us today. This has been just fascinating, and I've been quite educated about it. If you want to see again all the stuff that you can find at Ag Tech Week, March 9 through 13, that website is
agtechweek.com.
agtechweek.com.
Mm-hmm.
agtechweek.com. And so we will see you there. And there's been a lot for everybody, a lot that you can learn, a lot you can take home and spur some thoughts. And that's what we're looking for. Laura, thanks so much for joining us today.
Well, thank you so much for having me, and I look forward to seeing you there.
From WCIA 3 Plus, with your host, Stu Ellis. This is From the Farm.
And hello, everyone. We welcome you to another edition of From the Farm. A little bit different this morning, or this afternoon, or this evening, whenever you're watching this. We're going to talk about FFA. And we're recording this just before National FFA Week. And that's coming up. And so we want to talk about that. Our guests in the studio, two of the state Illinois FFA officers, Natalie Pratt, who is state FFA president, and Cadence Wooten, who is the treasurer of Illinois FFA. And ladies, we welcome you, and I have a feeling you have done, since you were elected last summer, you have done hundreds of interviews with people, whether it's in a studio or some guy with a microphone. This is not your first time around doing this.
No, it is not. It's still fun every time, though. Yes.
You are regularly hit with the farm media, and we in the farm media are real friendly to what your cause is, yes. and I think we all know how to treat everybody. Yes. So you're not going to get tested by anybody, either on any of the farm broadcasters, whether it's those on TV or radio or newspapers. Boy, we're all friendly, but we want to find out a little bit about both of you since you are holding high offices. Natalie, tell me a little bit about where you are from and your FFA career to date.
Yeah, so I'm from Amboy, Illinois. So if we're in Champaign right now, Amboy is about 2.5 hours north. It's in the direct middle of the state, about an hour south of Rockford, if you know where that is. Super small town, went to a very small high school, and upbringing was on a grain farm. My dad's brother, and my grandpa are second-generation farmers. We farm corn, soybeans, and we grow seed corn for Wiffles hybrids. When I was younger, I was, your stereotypical 4-H girl. I showed cattle, I did all the cooking lessons, and I ran around the county fair with a dirty pair of jeans. So I had kind of that usual farm upbringing. My mom was very involved in FFA when she was younger. She served as the state reporter, and then she did a little bit of intern work for National FFA, helping organize the National FFA convention. So I've been around FFA since I was a very young girl. So the blue jacket is not something new to me, but I absolutely love stepping into a new role, being this year's state president with Illinois FFA.
And we congratulate you for
Thank
that.
you.
And you have a few more months left, and I know you're certainly enjoying that opportunity. Cadence, where are you from, and what have you done in FFA?
Yeah, so I'm from Weldon, Illinois, not too far out of here. I went to high school at DeLand Weldon, took ag classes over at Blue Ridge, because when I started my freshman year, we didn't have ag classes at DeLand, so I took the opportunity to be bussed over. But as childhood, grew around ag, never was in it though. My dad had been a farmhand, got to run in the tractors with him every so often, but never fully immersed in it. Throughout high school, I joined FFA freshman year, kind of lightly into it. Sophomore year, got a little more involved. Junior really hit head on there. Did 4-H when I was younger, but didn't really see myself going into ag. And now I'm here.
Now, both of you people could certainly understand that you are very good communicators. That's something you have probably gotten from FFA. Wow, what all has FFA provided you internally? What has it contributed to your personality and your life?
I think that for me, FFA has played a huge part in understanding that we're all a part of the bigger picture, and what's going to give you the most fulfilling work in your entire life is going to be doing something that is selfless. So being a part of the National FFA organization, I'm wearing a blue corduroy jacket right now, and there are 1 million FFA members out there who also own their very own blue jacket or wear a blue jacket and a black pair of slacks to go to a CDE or a convention every once in a while. And that is such a fulfilling statistic for me personally, knowing that I'm able to help create and cultivate that kind of conversation and community that people feel safe with.
And where are you? Where is this going to take you? What's after high school and FFA for you?
Yep. So in Illinois FFA, most people are aware that we do have to take a gap year. So I graduated from Amboy High School last May, and I was elected state office in June. So since then, I should be in my first year of college, but I'm taking a gap year. So in August, I'll head out to Oklahoma State University in Stillwater, Oklahoma. I'm studying agricultural education, and I'm very interested in public policy. So doing something with educating more of consumers and commodity organizations and programs in my future.
Oklahoma State's a long way.
It is, but that's kind of the plan. I love to explore. I love to travel. So my parents knew what they got into when we started looking at colleges, and none of them were in the state of Illinois.
Cadence, where are you headed?
I'm also headed out to Oklahoma State University with Natalie. I'm also majoring ag education, but my minor wants to be ag communications. So doing something like this, podcast work, something with the news.
Very good. Well, congratulations, both of you, and we'll look a little bit farther down the road to see what happens. My last person that I did much with in FFA had a first name of Thaddeus. Mm-hmm. And it was election day of a year ago, or 18 months ago. And he came in and was on the air. I had him on the air at 6:30 that next morning. And everybody was excited because it was National Election Day.
Yep.
And I said, we don't need a National Election Day. We have a national president right here. And so I had the opportunity to introduce Thaddeus to the audience, and we've become pretty close since then. So I know how he's grown. He was already on his way along.
Oh yeah.
had made a lot of distance in before he got there, but he's continued on. Now FFA week, we mentioned that just a moment ago. Why do we have an FFA week? It's coming up. Let's see, May 18 through 22. Is that
February?
Excuse me. That's right. I'm a few months ahead. Okay, we have here toward the end of February, we have National FFA Week. What is it, and why is it?
Yeah, so it's practically a week just dedicated to National FFA and showing other people what it's about. But I think it's really great that we get the opportunity to bring this inside of our schools. This gets out to the students other than just FFA members. So a lot of the times students do dress-up days for this, so it's good to show other members of their high school or their middle school what FFA is about during this week.
Yeah, I just actually saw driving down here on social media this morning that Pinckneyville FFA down in Section 24 of Illinois is hosting a bunch of dress-up days for their National FFA Week, just like Cadence mentioned. So I know that it's Tourist Tuesday and Farmer Friday. So I'm sure that FFA members across the state will be participating in fun activities, FFA members and students alike.
Yeah. Usually we have, at least at my school, when I went into my ag program, we had an assembly the first day. So it was great to get the whole high school in one, and we kind of did little things with them to introduce FFA within the whole high school so that students that didn't partake in ag classes or FFA got a little taste of what we're doing.
And that's a lot of those. And I would say a majority of the FFA chapters are doing something for their school.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Any other ideas on what some of those events might be like and what they are trying to communicate and to other students or the community at large?
Sycamore FFA up in Section 6 is doing a Ag Olympics. So I know the Olympics are actually going on right now, so it's funny timing, but they're going to host some fun farmer games for their FFA members and students at a pep assembly during National FFA Week. So I know they're going to do a hay bale toss, a milk drinking competition, and Dizzy Cowboy, where you have to spin around the bat a couple times, then do a little relay race. So I'm sure that that's going to be a fun activity for those FFA members, and I encourage schools to try out Ag Olympics because that's always been a fan favorite this year.
Yeah, and headed down to Oakland FFA down south. They're doing a petting zoo. So they're letting students come through. It's kind of showing them about the animals that they have in front of them.
They're just tremendous activities. And if you didn't catch any of those activities during FFA week or this year, why watch for it next year. It's always toward the end of February, and so you can participate and support FFA. We'll be back in just a moment with more of our conversation today with Cadence Wooten and Natalie Pratt, two Illinois FFA officers. Don't go away. And we welcome you back on our program today, focusing on Illinois FFA. Our guests are Natalie Pratt of Amboy and Cadence Wooten of
Weldon.
Thank you. I should have remembered that. They are both Illinois State FFA officers. Natalie is the state president, and Cadence is the state treasurer. And you've got three other colleagues who are out talking this week and all weeks.
We actually have four other colleagues. So this past convention was the very first convention where we elected a state sentinel. Mm-hmm. So that has not happened for a number of years. With our expansion and membership growth across the state and the nation, it felt necessary to add a sixth officer. So Paige Searins of the Anawan FFA chapter is our very first state sentinel. So
that spreads out. 6 people can go a lot farther than just 5.
Oh, yeah.
And tell us what a sentinel does.
Go for it.
Well, we usually split up duties pretty evenly. It kind of, the treasurer's supposed to deal with the money, but we do everything pretty evenly. So all of the duties are split between all 6 officers.
There's nothing that one of us does that the other person can't do,
right.
But we definitely have learned across the past couple months to play to our strengths. So Cadence is very creative and very, very good at Canva. So making our designs, if you see something on social media that has our logo on it, I'm sure Cadence made it. But just like we said, Paige Searins, our state sentinel, is the most organized person you will ever meet. So she's taking care of the schedule and she's getting us where we need to be on time. So We've learned, the 6 of us, how to play to our strengths pretty evenly for the year.
I was going to say, you really don't need a sentinel to guard your meetings. Mm-mm. So that's what a sentinel would typically do, but I don't think that's necessary. Now, something very special is coming up, not this year, but next year, is it? Or 2 years?
2 years.
Is the 100th anniversary of FFA. And things have been going here for the last year. I know Mindy Bunselmeyer, the state FFA executive director, has been working on that, and a lot's going on. what are you going to be doing for a 100th birthday?
Well, we don't want to give away too much of the excitement before the year, but we do want to let people know that we are promoting the 100 Faces of Illinois FFA. So to promote our 100-year anniversary, if you know someone who was an FFA member who made an impact in your community or in your chapter, if they just won their chapter green hand or they went on to be the star farmer in Illinois, we want to know about it. So if you email Mrs. Bunselmeyer, mbunselmeyer@illinoisffa.org, or you visit our website, ilaged.org. We want to make sure that you get those submitted so that we can have 100 faces of recognizable Illinois FFA members for that anniversary.
And over time, there's been a few more than 100.
There's definitely been a few more than 100, but I think it's very unique that we're not focusing on the state officers. We're not focusing on our national officers. We're focusing on the people who have made an impact in their own community and their chapter. So even if they did not stand on that national stage, they still stood on the stage and stand the test of time in their community, that they are an influential and impactful, selfless leader. And we want to know about it so that we can recognize them at our 100th anniversary.
Now, what sort of recognition will there be? Will they be at the convention and introduced, or pictures are going to be in a book?
I think that how we're going to spin this is it's going to be kind of like a story. So if you want to learn more about the Star Farmer from Anawan, if you want to learn more about whoever won ag business from Rock Ridge or who started a community service in Byron, you can read about it and learn a little bit more about what these impactful leaders did for their own communities across the state of Illinois.
This is it'll be introduced, and I guess culmination of this will be at the convention, and that's going to be in 27?
28.
28,
yes.
Okay.
Quick math.
I wasn't at the first one, so I'm having trouble counting 100 years from there. But at the conventions, what does FFA do at the annual convention? And it's a big deal.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, we do a lot. So we go from anywhere from awarding CDE and LDE winners, so our contest winners, from seeing retiring addresses from all the state officers. We have people come on for scholarships and their state degrees, which always seem to grow and grow every single year. Last year we had, over 360 state degrees, which was absolutely amazing to see.
That's a lot of. I didn't know there were that many.
Yes, every year.
And it's getting bigger every year then.
Yes.
Well, good for you and good for FFA. Now, something that's important, Illinois Corn does a lot to support FFA.
Absolutely.
And I think, have you been to Washington?
Yes, we have. We head out to Washington as section president. So Cadence and I went out there last year, and then we got the opportunity to send our section presidents back this year again with Illinois Corn.
And that's what do they learn out there in Washington?
You learn so much when you're out there in D.C. Our commodity partners are amazing. We actually just finished a week of business and industry visit, kind of working with those commodity and business partners. But specifically going to D.C. with Illinois Corn, you learn a lot about what goes on behind the scenes. You know, we all learn and we preach about the farmer in the field and the cook in the kitchen, but you really have to know what it takes to get there. And it's not just a tractor and a seed anymore. Nowadays, that starts in policy work, and kind of making sure that people are an educated consumer. And that starts in Washington, D.C. most times. So the opportunity to bring our 25 section president team out to Washington, D.C. every year is an incredibly impactful opportunity, not only for the section presidents, but for the state association as a whole, because now we have 31 educated consumers and advocates for this industry, and Illinois Corn as a commodity partner for Illinois FFA.
And they may grow up to be a member of the Illinois Corn Board.
Absolutely.
Of course.
And do something pretty special. And I think Illinois Corn Marketing Board, which supports ethanol, also supports an ethanol car for you, doesn't it?
Yes, they do.
Yes.
So thanks to Illinois Corn, there's probably a lot more that I don't know about. Or what other contributions do some of those companies and organizations provide?
Yeah, a big one is our cars. It's said that the Illinois FFA major state officers in Illinois travel 27,000 miles individually. So between the 6 of us, each one of us will travel 27,000 miles during our year of service. So a big contribution is the cars we drive, because you got to get from point A to point B, and sometimes you got to get there a couple times a day. So Mash-Off's Pigs sponsors a car. Farm Credit has a car for us, and one of our bigger commodity and business partners is the Illinois Farm Bureau. They do a lot to support us, as well as have us as major state officers sit on the Youth Education and Agricultural Committee with 4-H youth leaders in Illinois to help kind of make some new rules, make some new activities for people across the state of Illinois, younger members of 4-H and FFA.
Now, if anybody watching this has heard something that's enticing, may give you an opportunity here in just a moment. We'll be right back. Don't go away. And we welcome you back. The topic today is FFA broad in a big picture, particularly here in Illinois. The how many are Illinois FFA members are there right now, or chapters?
We have 36,000 FFA members within Illinois, and we have about 407 chapters.
Now, anybody watching here probably has a chapter nearby.
Yes.
And may even know an FFA member. Maybe you have been an FFA member. Maybe you would have a young one in the future as an FFA member. How can people get involved in supporting what FFA does?
Yeah, we really push for you guys. If you're an organization or you're a business, or even you're just someone within an area, find your local FFA chapter, reach out to them, see what you can do for them, become part of their alumni. That's huge. Giving back to them in any way possible, supporting them through alumni, or just supporting a contest or something that they're doing is big.
FFA alumni are very important because they've been through everything. They know where the owl is,
Yes.
what the sentinel does, and but you don't have to be a former FFA member. You can
Correct.
be someone in the community that may want to eat once in a while,
Right.
and has something special, a special part in their heart about agriculture.
Yeah.
And they can do, all they've got to do is reach out to the VOAG teacher.
Yeah. Reach out to your local ag teachers. If you can't get a hold of them, reach out to the school directly. So that's the biggest push is support locally first. And then we would always love for people to reach out to our foundation as well. If you guys want to be a larger sponsor for maybe our contests or stuff at the state level, you can also reach out to our foundation, but support our local chapters.
The Illinois FFA Foundation pours back into chapters too in a way that sometimes alumni doesn't have the needs to. So our Illinois FFA Foundation uniquely sponsors scholarships to send students to FFA Leadership Camp, as well as send students to conferences such as Ground Zero Conference for our freshmen and sophomores and Build Conference for our juniors and seniors, as well as sending students out to Washington, D.C. on the Washington Leadership Conference Scholarship, which I was a recipient of between my sophomore and junior year, which completely changed the game for me in my FFA journey. So I'm an incredible supporter of what the Illinois FFA Foundation does. And if you have the means to, in your community, in your business, or just supporting your local chapters, pouring into those chapters and the Illinois FFA Foundation is necessary and meaningful so that we can help fill the cups of chapters, members, and students across the state of Illinois.
And it's a two-way street.
Absolutely.
Yes.
If somebody or a foundation will help FFA, FFA will go back and integrate with them and help them out.
Of course.
In whatever, there's no rules as far as what can be done. It's just limited by your imagination.
Absolutely. Living to serve. That's what the Blue
Yes.
Jacket's for.
That's exactly right. Now, if someone wants to make a contact, where is an address, a phone number, a name that they could make a contact with to say, let me start here with this person?
starting with the Illinois FFA Center. Miss Riley Wells is our foundation director. So calling the Illinois FFA Center, contacting the FFA Center, you can find all of that information online or at ilaga.org would be your best bet to reach out to the foundation directly. And just like Cadence mentioned, reaching out to your local chapter, that's only a phone call away. That's only a step into the school away. And I'm positive that ag teacher would love to have a conversation with you. And if it's not about a contribution in monetary value, it's about a volunteer service.
Exactly. And you may be a speaker and just contribute what you have, your experiences to a whole group of FFA kids that may need that.
Yes.
That website that you gave again was ILAG, AG, ed for education.
Yep.
.org.
Yes, sir.
ILAGED.org. Okay. I contribute a newsletter to that every week, so that's at least mine. Any other places that we could help out and support FFA if we're not already there?
Yeah, I think just giving your best advice to a local FFA member. If you're talking to someone, give them whatever you can give them, Advice on the side is always great to have. But, yeah, then again, just reaching out to your local chapters is probably the best way to start.
Okay. Is there anything that we haven't talked about that we haven't covered that's important to this?
I don't think
I feel
so.
like we've hit it all.
Yeah.
Okay, but there's still a whole lot that's going on.
Oh yeah.
And if you're looking at this before FFA week, chime in with what you can do at your local high school. If you missed it this year, why you can have an opportunity to do it again and say, hey, let me get involved, and we'll make sure something will happen this next year.
Yes, of course. Check out our social media pages to keep along during National FFA Week if you are seeing this before or during National FFA Week.
And those social media pages are where?
You can go onto Instagram, Facebook. Those are our main two communicators, but Illinois FFA.
Okay. And so we appreciate Natalie Pratt, and president of FFA, and Cadence Wooten, treasurer. And your other 4 officers where are they? Let's give them a little credit here.
Yes. Coben Tate is our vice president, and Ethan Brimmer is our state reporter. Kyle Bradshaw is our state secretary, and Paige Searens is our state sentinel. Paige is outside actually with us today, and then the boys are back at the office.
Why didn't Paige come in?
She wanted to work on some work in the car, I guess.
Yeah, she's being productive. Like
Yes.
I said, very organized.
Very organized.
She's being productive.
Well, we do appreciate Paige in the car. We appreciate you 2 ladies in the studio this morning. And we hope you out there watching, for wherever you may be, have learned a little bit more about FFA in Illinois and would say, hey, how can I help, and find a way to do it. Thanks for watching.